Right guys, so I'm back out this weekend. We decided to head north because there was a weather warning for rain down south, but the Gulf Stream and the Atlantic and this occluded front that's came in had another trick up their sleeve, and the weather warning for rain has moved significantly further north. So I was hoping for a dry camp. I'm now getting this, but we're off out at the bonny banks of Loch Lomond once again. Similar location to where I was in my previous video. That was just further along. I don't know if you see that little bit that sticks out, sort of like a little peninsula. We were over there. We're just north of Rowardennan, a couple of minutes. That's about it's only an hour's drive from my home, and then boom, I've got this. I'm off out with several other people. I was thinking about doing a summit camp, and then I was like, I've got bad anxiety at the moment, let's keep it easy, let's just let things smoothly happen. Don't want to have a bad camp and then not go out camping because of that bad experience. So I've decided more for like a car camp, camping close to the car. But we've got a lot happening in this video. We've got a lot of gear reviews. I'm out with several other people so they can check their tents, their sleeping bags, and they'll give you their opinion on your equipment. And I'm also doing a review on a very comfortable sleeping mat. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoy the content, and if you like rain, good news, yellow warning for rain. And again, we're on the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. What generally happens is it picks up the moisture, and this general area can get more precipitation than, you know, a little bit further west, a little further east, a little further inland, shall we say. What are you out in today, Monty? Well, I'm out in the Nature Hike Opolis 2-person tent. It's a tunnel tent, and I really like this tunnel tent. It's got a beautiful colour, very easy to set up. You've got colour coded poles, you've got the blue strap here for the blue pole, and then you've got the red strap for the red pole and the silver strap for the silver pole. It's got some fine ventilation. You've got a ventilation port there, a ventilation port at the end, and it's a two-way zip for the door as well. I've not brought it out often because one of the sleeves is ripped where you put the pole through, and I don't want to damage it any further. But we'll see from the inside that it's a mesh tent. It's not a four-season tent, but it's good for the little portable heater. But I do hope to bring this out more. Wouldn't take it out in the wind. It's a bit flimsy. You can't get it that taut, and I'm not too, not entirely comfortable with the poles. They feel quite weak, but they are just basic industry standard poles. But I've had out in sustained rainfall before. We've got sustained rainfall today, so I know it can do the job. It's very light for a tunnel tent, but let's have a little look inside. So here's the vestibule area. Again, I'm 6'3", drink, and down at the corner I am touching the roof of the tent, but there's greater headroom in this area here. It doesn't come with a ground sheet, but I much prefer that, to be honest with you. I don't really care if it's a ground sheet. By all means, you can bring your own little ground sheet, put it down, but this one doesn't come with a ground sheet. Again, it's got a two-way zip, so that's good for extra ventilation. It'll be great for the little heater in here. You've got a ventilation port there again. You get a two-way zip. You can pull it down from the top rather than from the bottom, and you've got one at the end. I don't know if you can see from that clip, but it's mesh, so it's a very well ventilated tent, and it's got a massive vestibule area. But let's see the main body of the tent. Main body of the tent there. I've got a thick mattress, a wide mattress with me. I'll be using two of them as the company have asked me to do so. But that gives you an idea of the width for the tent. There is some little extra space over there. So you can get two thick mattresses in here with the width. Headroom's not the greatest. As you can see, the inner mesh drops down a fair bit. So me personally, I can't sit in there. It's a long tent after all. It is a, tunnel tent. But it's a cosy tent. But let's check out tonight's sleeping system. So tonight's setup, I've got with me the light as F word close cell foam mat, this little bad boy here. I've got my Big Agnes 3rd degree. It's a bit overkill because it's to be a warm night tonight. Temperatures are to get down to like 8-9 Celsius, so really a summer sleeping mat and a summer sleeping bag would do the job for most people. However, I have a new mat with me. It's called the Aero Gogo sleeping mat. It's a wide mat, it's a very thick mat, it's likely to be a super comfortable mat. The R value on this is 3, so it should take you down to temperatures just below freezing. But more about this mat in the morning. I'd rather give a proper review, you know, after I've tested it. I don't really see much point in doing a review right now when I've never tried it out. I don't know what to expect. So in the morning we'll break down this mat further, its specifications and whatnot. And I've got my flannel pillow, and look who I found, my Flextail pillow. It was stuck in this tent. The last time I took this tent out was just over a year ago, and my Flextail pillow has been hiding in here ever since. Good news for my waterproof over trousers. Hopefully they're sitting in a tent that I haven't used in a while. And I've got my Doubter Exosphere with me. Stretches by 25%. I checked that online, it's 25%. Again, the comfort rating in this bad boy is -4, but comfort rating. But I was going for comfort. I want a super warm sleep. But as you can see, I'm touching, you know, the roof of the inner mesh. It's a shame it isn't a little higher. It should be a little higher. It sags way too much. But that's my sleeping system for the evening. This is the tent that I'm in. Let's go and check out what the other boys have got. David's got a new tent with him. He's got the Helleberg, is it Alac red label? Alac 2. And that's my dream tent. More so the black label version, but to be honest with you, a red label, you can take that out in mental conditions. These poles here, dark poles, are the best in the market. I've seen dark poles out in 90 miles per hour ones, handle like a champ. You'll see it in one of my videos. The one with we were in Glencoe and it was stormy. But look at this bad boy. This is a bomb-proof tent. It's got a symmetrical vestibule on either end. It's got dark poles. Again, I love dark poles. It's of course the Helleberg, the tent maker, more like the Terminator. And this tent's very similar to the Nature Hike Cloud Peak. It's a dome tent. I think this one, does this get three crossover nodes? Aye. 1, 2 and 3. So it's a semi-geodesic, but David, any chance that you can open that tent up and we can have a look inside. It's got I can't remember the name of the material that's in mesh, but this here is an absolute Kerlon, thank you very much. Yeah. This material here is an absolute champion at trapping heat. But there's the tent there. He's got his mat already set up. Let's push it over, give you an idea of the width. Here we go. You could easily get 2 wide mats in this tent. I'm not seeing any pockets. Is there any pockets? I think there's a pocket over there. Did you maybe a pocket in this corner? I think you've got, yeah, we've got 2 pockets. But look at that. Again, if you want a warm tent, this will keep you warm. And oh no, we've got some water droplets on the camera. But guys, let me know what you think of David's tent. You could easily take that out in storm force conditions.
Anyway, hopefully we get some.
And it would do the job. But David wants to get out in a storm. I'll gladly take him out in a storm. It is incredibly wet. I was wanting a dry camp because it's easier to do footage when it's dry. But sadly, the weather warning extended north. David's just getting his sleeping system set up. So once this clip is done, we'll go and check his sleeping system. So I'm sitting inside the tent. I'm a tall gentleman. I'm towards the door and I'm barely touching the roof. And there's magnificent headroom in the centre area. But what's David got with him? He's got the Thermarest. What's it called?
Exped flex mat.
Oh, is it Exped? He's got the Exped, what? Flex mat. Exped. We've got an Exped here and we've got a flex mat there. Boom. He's got with him the Alpkit Pipe Dream 600. He's not entirely sure where it goes down to, but he does believe it goes down the comfort rating around about -12, -16. So it's overkill for tonight, guys. Again, temperatures only to get down to about 8 Celsius. And he's got the Big Agnes insulated air core, and it's got an R value of 4.2, is it? And again, with an R value of 4.2, you could easily get down to about -10, -15 if you like you're a warm sleeper. And again, that's overkill for the evening. But how have you found the mat? Is it comfortable?
Oh, it's comfortable. I've never had any problems yet.
Finds it super comfortable, never had any problems with it. What about the sleeping bag? Is it broad? Can you get in there, or is it tight?
Well, I'm broad and there's plenty of space, so I can't complain with space, but we'll see how it is in temperature when we get a bit lower anyway.
There you go, lads. So if you want some comfort, this is a broad sleeping bag. But I'm really liking this tent. I'm really jealous that David's got this tent. I would happily give up my MTN F10 for this tent. I would happily give up my MTN for this tent. World class, mate, world class. But let's see if we can go and check out the remaining tents. Smashing, mate, brilliant. So check this bad boy of a tent out. It's a nice classic semi-geodesic. It's got the 5 crossover points. It's like the Van Gogh Mirage. Here's the brand name down here. Trail Outdoors Leisures, the Bracken Free. Saying it's got a hydrostatic head of 3000mm. That'll more than do the job. But check the size of this vestibule out. We're all vestibule fans here. We're all fanatics when it comes to the vestibules, so there's plenty of space. Good headroom, great headroom. But we're going to check out their sleeping system now. So, what's these gentlemen got with them? One of them has 2 sleeping bags, the Van Gogh Lunar 250 and the Eurohike Adventurer 300XL. They've not really been out often, so they can't really comment on the equipment. And they've got, you know, those campsite sleeping mattresses, the big ones, the big airy ones, the big air beds. That should be fine down to these temperatures. It's to get down to about 8 Celsius, but I wouldn't take these bad boys any lower than 8. I've had them down to about 6 when I first started out, and I was super cold, so I would heavily advise that you don't purchase one of these for wild camping or camping. But he's got 2 sleeping bags with him, he should do the job. And plus they've also got a little mattress down here as well, a little rug that'll help with that additional, what do you call it? That'll help with that additional, the word's not coming. Heat. Not heat. I don't like the word, heat doesn't work. Insulation from the ground, insulation from the ground. His father has with him the Trekology UL80. As you can see, it's a very thick mat, it's a very wide mat. My best ever sleep was on one of these bad boys. However, in my experience, they burst after, you know, about 4 or 5 uses. And I've also heard that from many others as well. So, me personally, I wouldn't recommend this mat because it doesn't have a very long lifespan. However, if you want to go out just that couple of times a year and you want some comfort, the Trekology UL80 does the job. And the sleeping bag they've got with them is a Decathlon bag, synthetic bag, XL. I can't really see the stats anywhere. So I'm on my bag, there we go, the comfort rating 0 Celsius, the limit's -5. Again, we've got a very mild night ahead, so this setup should more than do the job. The other thing on the Trekology UL80, it doesn't have any thermal insulation, so it's really only good down to about temperatures around 8 Celsius. But it's a super roomy tent. It's a 3-person tent, fiberglass poles. It's good for like you're camping near the car or campsite camping, but for the hills, those long treks, there's a lot of weight, it's a lot of space, and fiberglass poles have a predisposition to snapping. But let's go and get the final review out of the way. Last but not, is it last but not least, is the saying?
Last but not least,
aye. Neurodivergence. Your man Jimmy is out in the Van Gogh Talas 300, 3000mm hydrostatic head. It is fire retardant and it is Powerflex fiberglass. I can't remember the name of the old model. I think it was, is it the Nynx? NYNX?
I think so.
You've got the smaller arch pole at the bottom and the larger arch pole at the top. You've got a little ventilation port down there, some guy ropes. You get guy ropes at the side as well, so it comes with 3 guy out points. But let's check this tent out. Mate, would you like to do the honours since it's your tent? Let's check the vestibule out. And I remember the last vestibule in this tent was absolutely rubbish. And let's see that that's not even a vestibule, mate. That's shambles.
I'm disgusted right now.
You can't. If you're going to cook your dinner in there, you're going to take your tent with it.
Me and my vestibule.
You can't do anything with that. You can't do anything with that. Do you want to do a rundown of your setup?
No, mate.
You want me to do a rundown of your setup? Right, I'm the professional. Let's turn it around. Get straight to the facts. Right, so we're doing a take two of this one. It's super roomy at the top. You've got great headroom and there's great width up here. You can easily get 2 people sitting out at the top. This is a thick mat. This is also the Trekology UL80, the one that Rocco's using. It's a thick mat. It's a wide mat, and look at that. There's plenty of space over here. You can get 2 big mats. Width-wise, it's a 2-person tent. Length-wise, yeah, I'm not happy with the length. I would struggle to fit in this. So he's got with him the Alp Kit sleeping bag, and the Alp Kit's called the Sky High 500. We believe the comfort was 1 Celsius and the limit was around -4.
-4, yeah.
So again, with temperatures not to get any lower than 8. Overkill, which nothing wrong with overkill, it ensures a warm sleep. And he's got the bog standard, my favourite, the bog standard closed cell foam mattress as well. But you know what, it's a good 1-person tent because I could easily sit up here at the top. It's cosy and I like a tent with some width. Let's see, but he's had it out in the rain and he said it performed very well in the rain, so no issues with the waterproofness. Vango are very consistent with that. But as it's fiberglass poles, don't take it out in the wind because fiberglass poles, as I was saying about that tent, have a predisposition to snapping and then ripping the material. But honestly, comment on the vestibule, quite frankly. This is a man that always talks about the vestibules on my channel, and then he comes out with this. Mate, what on earth is going on here? Let me know what you think about the world's worst vestibule, guys. That's all the product reviews out of the way. We're losing light. It doesn't help when it's very overcast as well. But we've got a tarp up and we're also being very responsible. We've got a little stove with us as well for the fire. I don't know if you can see it because my tripod is blocking everything out of the way. But yeah, I'm going to chill now because that was a lot of work. It's absolutely gorgeous here. You've got a nice sandy beach, a rather cold loch. That direction heads north, and this little route here behind those trees is the West Highland Way. So check this little fire pit out. We've got this little extension at the bottom to protect the ground. And it's not a mesh fire pit, so it's actually got a lifespan, unlike the mesh fire pit that I've got. You can only get 8 uses out of it, and yeah, you can also cook on it with this little grill. I'd imagine it's not as compact as the mesh fire pit or lightweight, but see, for those camps near the car, this bad boy is so much better. So it turns out that that fire pit compresses into that bag, which is exceptionally impressive. Do you know the weight?
No, I don't actually, unfortunately.
I can't see it being too heavy. 500 grams?
No, 5 kilograms.
Oh, 5 kilograms. Or I don't, mate. 5 kilograms. I don't know about 5 kilograms, but it's compact. Yeah. It's compact, and I like it.
Is it 1 kg?
Yeah, I think it's only about 1 kilogram. I don't think it's much heavier than the actual mesh fire pits. I'm actually interested in that bad boy, so let me know. We've got the little heater on in the tent. It's about, what, 10 Celsius outside, but mate, what do you think of the heater?
This thing is amazing. I'm going to get one. Simple as. It's just, it's like summer in here, and we're sitting in a yellow warning.
It's too warm in this tent, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a warm night, but man, it is ridiculous. The temperature's well above 20 Celsius in this tent. It is warmer than what me and Gaz had when we were out and it was 2 Celsius and we got up to 19 Celsius. This feels a whole lot warmer, and this is primarily a mesh tent as well, so it doesn't have as good thermal insulation as my MTN F10. But there's a little heater. I did some trials with it in the house with the carbon monoxide detector, and what I did was I turned on all 4 hobs in my cooker and then held the little carbon monoxide detector next to it. Didn't pick anything up. So I don't think the blowy flame gives off much, but again, it's still best to have a well ventilated tent. We've actually just closed this over to trap the heat a little bit more, and it's now a sauna. But if any of you guys are interested in that little tent, as your man says, it's roasting, aye?
Absolutely roasting.
Absolutely roasting. So if any of you are interested in that heater, guys, again, I'll drop the link in the video description. It's a Lixada portable heater.
They look good steaks, man. That is good steaks.
There you go. We have utensils here.
Aye.
Sorry mate, and that algae bloom in the sea. You don't need to do that.
Oh, I've got very powerful as well.
She's only 20 kg by the way, but that's good. That's Sophie.
It is bedtime. We just sat round the fire under the tarp. The rain continued right through, but it became lighter early in the evening. But it's a mild night so far. Temperatures, I did a little check on the forecast, the Met Office observation site, and it says temperatures to get down to about 6 or 7 Celsius, and we could see some heavier bursts of rain later on. But thank God I really enjoyed this camp. I was quite concerned because my anxiety is on peak. I've started new medication, so that could cause some problems. Best to play it safe and do a camp near the car in case things go wrong. But I am on fire. It is a warm night, and I'm expecting it to be a warm sleep. We had you can see from an earlier clip, we had the heater on in here, and when temperatures are around 6, 7, 8 Celsius or above, it's just too warm for the heater. But this is a good tent to use it in, plenty of ventilation. Gonna head to bed and test this new sleeping mat out. The plus side, it's a thick sleeping mat. It says it can go up to 14 Celsius, 5.5 inches in thickness, but I'm not entirely sure about that. R value of 3, so you can take it down to just below freezing. And it's got a little electric air pump installed. I use my Flextail, but it's got a little electric air pump installed into it, and apparently that once fully charged it can blow up your mattress up to 20 times. So let's see how the sleeping mat goes. There's 2 downsides, however. It's a great sleeping mat for like camping near the car or campsites, but for wild camping I'm not entirely sure. Look at the size of that bag. It's bigger than my head, and it weighs in at around 1.2 kilograms. It's a wide mat, but it's not too wide. It would comfortably fit into most, if not all, 2-person tents. But I'm going to inflate this one up, show you what it's like when both of them are blown up, and hopefully I can capitalise on that electric air pump. Otherwise I need to go home and charge it and then try it on another day. But I've been lying in it for the past couple of hours and it's been super comfortable. But what I'm going to do now is head to bed, hopefully sleeping no later than midnight or just after 1, then up early about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just going to jump onto Netflix and watch a movie. Don't know what movie. Big fan of my movies, guys, so if there's any movie fanatics out there, recommend a movie. Movies are my life. Watch a movie and drift off to sleep. But hopefully I can get some footage of this little mat here whilst capitalising on its little electric air pump. But I'll also show you, what the thickness is like as well. A moment of truth. That's a little button there. Ah! Check that out. It's actually inflating it. Is it going up? Oh, it's going up. So, well, that is a fantastic little feature. And you get to charge it as well. It's rechargeable. So you don't need the flex tail for this bad boy. It inflates itself. That's a fantastic feature. 10 out of 10. And here we have the end result. Look, this is a wide mat, okay? They're wide mats and they're thick mats. That gives you an idea of the thickness. That is pretty thick, not going to lie. And I used the flex tail to blow this one up and the inbuilt air pump to blow that one up. And the width in this tent is pretty standard and you can get both mats comfortably in, even with a little gap. But see for your low profile tent, see for the low profile tents, the one with very little headroom, yeah, it's going to be cosy. As you can see, I'm lying on this mat and I'm near enough touching, you know, the inner tent, the inner mesh of this tent. But this inner mesh tent does sag greatly. For most, see for dome tents, you're not going to have an issue. But see for your low profile tents with little headroom, it would feel a bit claustrophobic with those mats. But I'm lying on it and it's trapping the heat very well. It's trapping the heat very well. And again, it's super comfortable. So I'll be able to give a better assessment in the morning. But I've actually got high hopes for this mat. I think it will serve a great purpose for camping near the car and for those campsite camps. But again, I'll let you know how it goes in the morning. But I am going to head to bed now. Let me know what you think of the spot. Let me know what you think of the mats. And again, I'm looking for some, awesome comments on that little heater. So far, it's met with critical acclaim. And yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying the content. And I'll catch you all in the morning. Take care for now. So good morning you all. It was a good sleep last night. It rained all night. Woke up to some pretty bad condensation. David was the same. But it was a fine sleep. Got a good 7 hours sleep. And it was very soothing, very therapeutic to listen to that rain trickle off the tent. But let's get straight to it. That sleeping mat. Here's a closer look. As you can see, it's actually bigger than myself and I'm 6'3", so plenty of length. Gives you an idea of the thickness. And it comes in 2 colours. This one's blue and I think the other one's like a grey colour. How was it? It was super comfortable. It was very comfortable. My most comfortable sleep to date for this year anyway. It was warm as well. I think temperatures got down to about 6 Celsius, maybe 5 Celsius. A bit of chill in the air. And that more than done the job. Along with the exosphere. Super comfortable, super cosy, super warm. I had the bag open. But I really do like that mat. Pros, it's super comfortable. It's got thermal insulation. So it's great for those car camps. Camping near the car. Short hikes. Downside, weight. 1.2 kilograms for a sleeping mat. And pack size, it is ridiculously big. Again, to show you the other one that I've got. It's a chunky mat. It's a very chunky mat. David had a warm sleep. I was speaking to Jimmy and he had a warm sleep as well. So I think everyone had a cosy sleep. There's a man there, David, the man, the myth, the legend. What we're going to do now is just get packed up. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll get packed up. Going out to Drimmin, get some breakfast. Some breakfast, mate.
I'm up for that, man.
He's up for that, man. So, you got your handsome face in the video? Aye, that's the mat there. I was going to give you a shot of it. Mate, you would like it. It's super comfortable. I'll give you a shot of it next time. Not very compact, and yeah, it's 1.2 kilograms as well. But see if you like your car camps and that. Yeah, that does. See that up at the top there? It's an electric air pump. So you don't need a flex tail. It does a job for you. So it's an ergonomic mat as well. They state. But guys, let me know what you think about the mat anyway. But we're going ahead. Just about packed up. So take care, y'all, and we'll see y'all on the next adventure. Bye bye. Oh, that's me.